What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I am currently here at the Fairmont Grand Del Mar in the beautiful setting of the driving range here, and I'm going to talk to you guys about this tip that has literally changed my life. And so this drill is going to help move laterally through the ball, which means moving more towards the target at impact. And this drill is also going to help you find that slot where you can get your elbow in the right pocket, which is right in front of your midsection, right in front of your right hip from here, and then you can fire. And so I'm going to show you that drill right here. All right, you guys, so let's get to it. We're going to talk about getting in the slot. Now, I think that's defined differently by different people, but for me, I'm going to talk to you or show you guys what that means to me. So for me, getting in the slot is when I have my right elbow, this is on my downswing, when my right elbow is nice and in front of my midsection and ready to fire, because as soon as you're in this position right here, there is nowhere to go but have a leaning shaft at impact. If you already dumped your energy or you've had your hips bum rush and go ahead forward before your arms have come through, then you have no choice but to flip your club and you break your angles. But when you have your elbow nice and in front, you're able to get to that nice leaning shaft, compress the ball. And so this is, to me, where that slot is, and this drill is going to be perfect for that. So going off of that, it's really hard to control what your impact is doing when you're already in motion. And so to me, this is something that you can think of on the way down in your swing or while you're practicing that can help you get to the right place at impact without having to always think about it. So here we go. So with this drill, it's going to help you get into that right pocket, that slot with that right elbow, and it's going to get your shaft coming in on the right plane, but it's also going to help you move laterally towards the ball. And you want to move laterally towards the ball slightly, it's like a split second, or at least feel this way towards impact, because you want the ball to be going towards your target. So here's the drill right here. I have a 50 degree in hand. I think the 50 degree is perfect. And if you're right-handed, then you'll follow as me. If you're left-handed, do the opposite. So I'm going to get in my setup. I won't hit the ball from here. I'll get in my setup, take that 50 degree or your wedge, not a 60, I think that's too much loft. Put it under your right foot if you're right-handed. Only place it onto that back heel. Step on it as you would in your setup. And then from here, make sure that that club shaft is just barely touching the back of your calf or the back of your knee, wherever that hits. Just like so. So I'll do it without a ball. So this is what it looks like from this view. Now what this is going to do is that it's going to allow you to keep your right foot down until after impact. And so I'll go in slow motion. So when you take your swing back, nothing changes, right? As you come here, this is where you would have a tendency to drop the club. Most golfers would already be spun out and that club drops, which is what we don't want to do, and then you're stuck, you're throwing it, you're not in the slot. So let's put it back up. The goal is to have the club fall down after you hit the ball. So here we are again. So we're gonna take it back. We're gonna allow that elbow and the club shaft to shallow, get in that slot, and because the club is already kissing the back of your leg, you have no choice but to move laterally, because also if you spin out, you are also hitting the club out from under your foot. All right, so let's try again. On that back heel, it's just barely touching that back end of that calf. We're gonna take it back. We're gonna get to that slot right here, and I'm moving laterally because I don't want to touch this quite yet. Moving laterally, we get through impact, and you want to roll the foot. Roll the foot over, and that's how you want the drill to go. And you're gonna move in normal speed. So again, one thing that you want to make sure that you're checking on is that when you're here, again, touching that back of that leg with the grip or what have you, the shaft, you also don't want to just lift your heel off the ground, because that will make it drop too soon. You want it to drop right after impact, and having that roll in your right foot right here will also allow you to move laterally at impact and then finish. And there should be no hitches. So when you're full swinging and you may see that you have a hard time keeping that foot down, or you can feel yourself spinning out, you'll see the club literally fly. So here's what it's going to look like with an actual tee shot or an actual shot. I'm going to go at the blue flag. I'm going to try a 9-iron. You typically, whenever you're moving your swing, you want to have a shorter club in hand so you have more control. We're gonna get set up. Take that 50 degree, put it under the back right foot, just that back heel though, not the whole foot. Make sure it's just touching your leg. Getting set up, I'm gonna adjust the ball to where I want to be measured. We're gonna see if we can do this. My first try here. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, okay, let's give it a go again. All right, here we go. Back right heel, touching the leg, getting set up. Not bad. Just like that. And so from that angle, you should have been able to see me move laterally for a split second and then turn the hips and release, hold finish, and that's how you do it. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple ways that you should not do it. So here's example, the not good example, number one. Here we go. So that time I tried to spin my hips too soon. I didn't feel like there was any lateral movement, and the club should have dropped or been on its way down before I even had impact. And at that swing, I actually kind of felt like my elbow got stuck right on my hip, and then I hit, and I kind of flipped the club. So that's the not right way to do it. All right, this is the not so great example number two. Okay, so that time, instead of, well, I think my foot also came up too soon, but that specific swing, I felt like my left leg on the downswing kind of like slapped the club away and spun it out. And that's another thing that you don't want to do when you're trying this drill. Focusing on that lateral movement, getting your elbow and your club shaft shallow in that slot right here will allow you to be able to get through that drill without dropping or flapping the club away. Like that. All right, you guys, that is the end of this Tips with Tish. This tip was all about getting your elbow in the right slot while shallowing your club, and also incorporating that lateral movement into your swing by using that drill with a 50 degree or a wedge under your right foot if you're right-handed, and making sure that that club doesn't fall until after impact. I'd love to see your guys' feedback and your guys' videos. I hope that this helps you. So if you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications button so you don't miss a beat. Bye for now.